Back with another Savage stream. Thanks everyone for liking, sharing, commenting on my videos, and subscribing to my channel. You guys are freaking awesome in my book. I don't care what Son of a Tech says about you. Speaking of Son of a Tech, be sure to check out his channel. Let me post a link over there. He's got some really good stuff over there, doing lots of content lately. So check him out after you get done with this stream. And let's see, what are we talking about tonight? In this video, we are going to be talking about RAVENCOIN profits for the previous week. We do this pretty much every Monday. We kind of break down the previous week because we built a rig a while back and dedicated it to basically Monday streams, I guess. We're just kind of looking at, mining a project, and currently we're mining Raven. So I like to review the previous month or the previous week of profits and just give you guys an idea of what to expect should you get into crypto mining. So that's the whole goal here, is to kind of give you insight into what it's all about. Yeah, so let's get into it. And remember that none of this is financial advice or mining advice. You do whatever you want, do your own research and all that cool stuff. All right, let's look at the hardware. So this is the rig that we built back in November, and we dedicated this to, and I've got some really great news actually. So this is really cool in a way, but I'll get to that in a minute. But this is the hardware. Basically, this is the cost that I paid for whatever the item is, and this is today's price. All right, like an average, right? And you can see that there is a significant difference between what I paid for it back in November and what it would cost you to build this rig now. I mean, it's literally $2,000 more, so that's 66% more, right? If I'm doing my math right. No, it would be more than that. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's a lot more. All right, it's 3 times as much almost. So it's crazy how the prices have gone up so much and how much it would cost to get into mining right now. I mean, we all know that the hardware, especially GPUs, are just out of control, way overpriced, way over MSRP, which is crazy. But you know, this just shows you the significance of that. Some things were less now, you know, than they were whenever I bought them. Like, for example, the CPU is a little bit less now. But and I haven't actually gone and checked these prices in quite a while. I do have a couple of eBay links up here for like the GPUs. The GPUs are still, this is a P10690s. These are basically kind of like 1050 Ti's. Sort of, if you're using what to mine, you can kind of use the 1050 Ti's because they don't have the P10690s on there. But these are, you know, these are sold. Okay, so this is a view of sold. I've got the down here, the completed items and sold items is selected down here. So you can see what these are actually going for. And this was as recent as April 9th. April 8th here, so 224. Wow. I mean, it's still super expensive. And I don't even have them listed that much over here. I've got them at 175. So they're actually kind of all over the place. I mean, there's a few of them that are less. So that's why I probably put 175 on there just as an average. So I haven't like done the real math on it, but I can just tell by eyeballing this that it's probably 175 is about the average. And that's for the GPUs. And I did buy 10. I actually bought 11, but one of them went bad. So I only have 10 in here. And as far as the motherboard, the other big ticket item in here is the motherboard, and that's the H110 Pro BTC Plus from ASRock. And you can see the price of these has gone up a lot. I know I tell this story every week, but about 1 year ago, I had an opportunity to buy 10 of these H110 Pro BTC Plus motherboards for $35 each. I could have had 10 of them for 350 bucks, and yeah, I didn't do that. And yeah, I should have, clearly. So yeah, about 350 for the motherboard. Still looking super expensive there. What do I have it listed in here? And actually, yeah, I have it at 350. So that makes sense. Yeah, so this rig is mining Raven for the past week. Let me this is what the rig looks like. I do have one spot over there open just for testing, and it actually is where the one GPU that went bad is actually located over there, or was located, but I took it out. So while this is running, I'll check the chat, make sure everything's good over here. What's going on? Chancoin, ABMNS, what is up? Fire Marshal Bill. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much, guys. So that's what the rig looks like, hardware-wise. Nothing too spectacular. I do have a build video on it as well. I'll drop that link in the chat also. I'll try to remember to put these in the description, but I always forget that. So you can check out the actual build video there. It's only 12 minutes, so it's a pretty quick one. And I also have a recent, pretty recent, how to mine RAVENCOIN using NVIDIA GPUs and Hive OS. And I believe I actually used, yeah, I did. I actually used this rig to do that video. So, you know, it walks through the whole thing from start to beginning, from beginning to end, as 0 to hero, right? So it's no OS all the way up to mining RAVENCOIN. So pretty cool. And it was not less than 30 minutes, but I probably got, it looks like I was mining within 30 minutes or so. So anyway, yeah, check that video out as well. All right, now let's look at what we are doing tonight. So this is the rig right here, Kajimi, and if I click on that and Hive OS here, you can see the hardware, you can see the overclock settings. I've done a little bit of finagling with the numbers here, you know, the overclock settings, and this is literally about the most efficient settings for these GPUs. I've played around with it. I've tried to squeeze a little bit more out of it, efficiency and stuff. And as soon as I start messing with it, if I go up at all from here, it'll crash the rig within 24 hours. So I just leave it. I leave it like this. It seems to do okay right here where it's at. So I don't mess with it too much. So you got the OC here. We'll look at the flight sheet real quick, just to show you what that looks like. We are using 2 miners pool. Let's go over here to mining pool stats.stream and see where that's at for Raven here. Two miners is second. Okay, so it is one of the largest pools, probably the largest pool that's not in China. Okay, so looks like they got 23% of the hash rate, total hash rate. Okay, sounds good. And let's see here. We're using MB Miner because MB Miner compared to T-Rex, on this rig using this algo mining this project, mining RAVENCOIN, it seems to get about 5% more, maybe not quite 5%, something like 4% more hash rate than T-Rex. So I left it on MB Miner. I might change it in the future, but for now it is what it is, and I'm going to leave it there. So that's what it looks like on the flight sheet side. Here's the settings. And then if you go to 2 miners and you look up that address that I'm mining to, here it is right here. Verify that. See? Same address. And you can see the payouts. I'm on the payouts tab. So if you go to workers, should have some information here. Yep, right here's the rig name, the hash rate, current hash rate, average, how much paid out in the last 24 hours. Total pay was 1226. And if we look at our wallet over here, we've got exactly 1226. Now that I'm going to have to go back through the math though, because the spreadsheet doesn't show that. The spreadsheet shows some different numbers. So I'll have to kind of redo the spreadsheet, I believe, the mining reward spreadsheet to verify that, because it should match up, and it just doesn't. So it's not that important, you know, at the moment. But so yeah, this is what we're looking at. And let's see. So if we go back over to the spreadsheet, the good news is that we have literally paid for this rig minus the electricity. Now that electricity is significant. Okay, it's about 1,000 watts, running 24 hours a day, so it's about $81 a month, $271 a day. We could go ahead and try to, you know, delete or subtract that $81, and it would put us back a few months, right? Because we've been running since about November, as far as paying off the rig. But if you look at your profitability was more than what you would have received had you just bought the coins with the money that you use for electric. So it makes more sense to mine in this particular instance, because we are making more, we are getting more Raven than we would if we bought that Raven with the electric. So it makes sense, and that's why I'm not really worried about it in this instance. Now, if you start scaling up and you have a lot of rigs, then it makes you got to start factoring in your electric. But in this case, for this little scenario, this little exercise, I figured we would just not worry so much about the electric and just pay off the hardware with the crypto that we're earning, which is kind of what we did. And you can see here that we actually were mining Ethereum Classic originally, and we earned about 49, I believe. The wallet is probably going to say 52 or something like that, but I think we got 49 total. And at 1952, which ETC has been killing it as far as increasing in value. So at 1952 value, that's 957 bucks USD, which completed about 80% of our payback for the rig and the break-even point. And then for Raven, we've earned see, this says 1340, but it's only 1226. So I got to figure out where I doubled up some numbers. But the current value of Raven is 19 cents about, and so we've earned about $252. So if you add those up, that comes up, if you look at the percentage here and the percentage here, that is more than what the rig actually costs, right? So we are actually 102%. So we have broken even. Now this could go down, obviously, if the values of those crypto, if we don't sell and if we just hold the crypto and the value goes down, then this could go back below 100%. So just kind of cool that we actually, you know, made it that far pretty quick. I mean, for, was that, let's see, this is April, so we're looking at 6 months, you know, basically 6 months to pay off the hardware part of this, not the electric, but the hardware was paid off. And this was like a weird time frame here, because I've got, it seems like I've maybe cut off the last pay period too short, because it was 3/31. I think I just cut this off too short, and that's why the numbers don't match, because it's thinking that we made 412 Raven this period in a week. I don't think that we did. I think that has to, some of that needs to go up here, in other words, because if you look at the difficulty, it's just the way I did the math. So if you look at the difficulty, it hasn't really varied that much. You know, it's pretty steady. So I was thinking I would come in here and see a huge decrease in difficulty to earn that much Raven in that short amount of time in a week. And then the hash rate, you know, is pretty steady too. So yeah, I don't, you know, it doesn't look like there was anything going on the network that would lead me to earn more Raven. So I think, again, I just think the numbers are just kind of goofy the way that I did the exports, because the way I'm doing the export from the wallet, I come over here and I do an export CSV right here, and then I go and grab it, but it's kind of a weird format. It's got a weird date format in there that I don't particularly like. I looked at Google Sheets to try to figure out how to switch it. I couldn't figure it out. So I just kind of gave up on it. That was right before the stream. I was just trying to straighten it out. So I gave up on it for now. And this is kind of like what it looks like. See, it's got the date kind of goofy in here. This is the month. This is the day right here. so it's kind of backwards. You know, from a United States standpoint, it's backwards. So this is very, very Euro date ish. So, but yeah, I mean, this is April 1st through April 12th, which I don't know, how did we get that many days in there? See, I think that some of these days should have been on the last month. That's because what was last, it was the 5th. So yeah, that's what I did. So see, all the way up to here, this week should have only included like this much, right? Or maybe even this much. So I've included too many transactions is what I'm saying. Let me go in, see if we can fix this real quick. So if I go here, so probably from here, see how bad I can mess this up. Yeah, so see, all these need to actually go up here. I'll fix that later, but all right, that makes more sense. See, now it's 256 here. There we go. That makes more sense. 1226. So what's the total? Where did that go? That's pretty close. 1184 is what it's saying there. Again, I would need to add in those ones that I cut because I need to put them back up here. I'll do that after the stream. I don't want to be fumbling around with that. But yeah, 1226, $229 in a month. Basically, I think we've been doing this about 4 weeks. Let's see here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. 5 weeks on Raven. With a little $1,100 rig, and we've made 229 bucks. That's not too bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not too bad. All right, let's see here. And if we go over to what to mine, we should be able to see approximately what we are seeing. So if it's 1050 Ti's is what I'll use, 10 of those, and for Kapow, it's 61, but we're not really getting that. We're getting about 59, and we're getting that at 1,050 watts, somewhere around in there. So you just plug in your own numbers there so that you can get an accurate count for Raven. All these other ones you kind of got to ignore because you would have to, in this case, you would either have to go use a different mining profit calculator or one that has P10690s, or temporarily mine each one of these projects to see what your hash rate is for them, right? We might look at that in the future, maybe switch over from RAVENCOIN to Haven or Conceal or something. You never know. Maybe that's what we'll do next week. I'm gonna go another week on Raven, I think, though, at least one more, and then we'll look at maybe switching next week. Mine something else for a little bit. But yeah, it looks like about 41 a day, which comes out perfect. 41 times 7, roughly what we earn. So we know that we're in the right area as far as what we are earning in real life, plus what the pool is telling us that we're earning. So that works out really well. All the numbers match up, except for that crazy, this number over here, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna check the chat, and then we are gonna get out of here. Ooh, ideal Raven GPU. I would probably say a 3090 is ideal. I mean, efficiency wise, probably 3070, 3060 Ti, something like that. What hash rate am I getting? It was like 5 something. Almost 6. Roughly 6 unknown crypto. Do I have a blank template of this spreadsheet? I do not, but you can, I'll leave a link to this, and you can just make a copy of it and use it for your own purposes. Let me know if that opens. It should open, I think. But yeah, you should be able to use that for your own purpose. Just come up here whenever it's open, because you're not going to be able to edit it. Just come up here and go File, Make a Copy, and then save it to your own Google Drive there. You should be good. So yeah, 48 bucks for the week. Not terrible. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that this rig would have not been profitable at all. You know, last summer it wouldn't have been. Yeah, that's what this is. Just like a little fun little project, you know, mining different things, and it's just not super efficient. But the P10690s aren't bad. You know, they consume a little bit, but you know, with the way the mining rewards are right now, it doesn't matter too much. You know, you're gonna be profitable almost no matter what you have at this point, at least for a little while longer. All right, so if there are no more questions, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys thought that this was useful or entertaining or educational in any way, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And always remember that all of this, everything, could be built on Bitcoin. Stay savage, everybody.